Hey y'all, today we are making stuffed pasta shells in Tam's kitchen. I know you see it, it looks so good. The inside, the filling is the best part of this dish, and I really hope that you all enjoy it. Let's get into it. So these are the ingredients you will need. You'll need some frozen spinach. I washed it and I patted it all the way dry with a paper towel, just soaked up all of the water once I washed it thoroughly. And then I just placed it in this bowl here. Next, you will need um, one large onion, one large green bell pepper, some parsley, fresh parsley preferably, ground turkey. I'm using ground turkey, but you can use ground beef, ground chicken, whatever you would like. Prego sauce, y'all. I love this spaghetti sauce. Like this is the best spaghetti sauce on the market. I don't care what you say. That's it. Get you some Prego. Then of course we'll need our jumbo pasta shells. And I'm gonna use this Parmesan and basil infused olive oil that I got from Walmart. It's so good. Then we're gonna use some ricotta cheese. It doesn't matter the brand of cheese, just get some ricotta cheese. We're going to use some Parmesan to garnish at the end. So we're going to shred some fresh Parmesan. And we're going to use some fresh Mozzarella to shred as well. And we're going to use one block of cream cheese. It doesn't matter the brand either. Get whatever cream cheese you have, as long as it's the original cream cheese. We're going to use dark brown sugar. Yes, I use sugar in my spaghetti sauce. I don't know what's wrong with y'all not using sugar. It's so good and it just cuts back on that acidity. We're using crushed red pepper flakes. We're using garlic powder, Italian seasoning, or oregano, whatever you have, parsley. We're going to use that parsley in the sauce mostly. Minced garlic, slap your mama seasoning is optional. We're going to use some mild Rotel tomatoes. And we're going to use some Tony saturated Creole seasoning, of course. Okay, so let's get into this dish. We're going to go ahead and chop up this bell pepper. I sped through this part because it takes so long for some reason for me to chop up my veggies, but I always like to use fresh veggies anyways. So that takes a little bit of time. So I just went ahead and sped through that part. But yeah, you can either buy some fresh veggies like I did, or you could go to the store in the frozen section and they have a blend of bell peppers and onions in the frozen section as well if you would like to do that. This is just my preference. So do whatever you would like. And then I'm using some fresh parsley as well. So after you cut all those stems off, you just really want to chop up the leaf of the parsley. You want to chop it up as fine as you can. So that's why you saw me do a couple passes through there. I think I chopped about 3 passes through that parsley. And then on the stove, we're going to use that olive oil that I told you about, that Parmesan and basil olive oil. And we're going to ground our meat. We use some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning. We use some black pepper, some slap your mama seasoning, just a little bit of that because it can get spicy. Some parsley flakes, some Tony saturated seasoning. You don't want to use too much of that either. But just season to your liking and to your taste. And I also put in some crushed red pepper flakes. Again, season to your taste, how you like things. I don't usually measure out my seasoning, so I can't really tell you how much to put in there. Just taste as you go is the best thing that I could say about that. Seasoning meat can take a bit of seasoning, so just keep that in mind. Meat can take the seasoning. You can over season your meat, but it is not as hard to over season your meat. So moving on to our filling, we're gonna use 2 cups of that ricotta cheese. We're gonna throw in 1 whole block of cream cheese, some of that fresh parsley that we chopped up. We're gonna add that, and then we're gonna add in that spinach. And next, we're going to add in some of that mozzarella cheese. And then we're going to go ahead and add in some Tony Saturé seasoning as well. We want to season every part of this recipe because, oh my gosh, it gives it so much flavor. And we got some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning, and we're going to add in some black pepper as well. Yeah, you want to make sure every part of this dish is seasoned. um it just adds more flavor, like, and I'm all about flavor when it comes to my food. We like to have that good taste in our food. We like the spices, we like all of that. You don't necessarily have to add salt, but you do want to add some spices to your dish. So you just mix that all in together. And then as you can see right here, my meat is almost done. So that's when I added my onions and bell peppers. And I'm gonna just chop that all together, mix it all together. And that mixture, that cheese mixture that I just made, I placed that in a like a little clear baggie, and I cut a hole at the tip of the bag so we can kind of use that as like a piping bag. So it'll make it a little easier to stuff our pasta shells. So yeah. Now we're gonna add in our pasta shells to our pot. And in my pot I let water with chicken bouillon flavoring and that Parmesan and basil olive oil. I put that in my water and let it come to a boil, and then I added in my pasta shells so they could cook together. Now we're gonna make that sauce. I added in that Prego seasoning, and no, baby, we're not gonna leave it like that. We're gonna add in some seasonings. We're gonna add in Italian seasoning. Yes, we are. Who want that tart tasting spaghetti sauce? That ain't good. Then we're gonna add in some black pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes. And then at this point I did turn my stove on low because that spaghetti sauce will start popping, baby, and it'll burn you. You don't want to get beat up by the pasta sauce. We're gonna add in that minced garlic and that garlic powder. Then that Tony Saturated seasoning as well. Okay, and then next we're gonna add in some brown sugar. Y'all, I don't know why y'all don't like sugar in y'all spaghetti sauce. Y'all really need to try it. I don't use white sugar, but I've always used brown sugar because that's how my mama taught me how to make it. I mean, she always used brown sugar in her spaghetti, and it is so good. Like, I like a little sweet spicy, but you really, in all seriousness, you really do need some sugar in your spaghetti because if not, then it could taste a little bitter. So you need something to balance out the acidity of the spaghetti sauce. And then as you can see, I added in a little bit more seasoning because when I tasted it, it didn't taste how I wanted it to taste. Like I said, taste as you go, and then you will be able to tell what you like. And I forgot to add in my Rotel tomatoes. So you see me here just adding that in to the side there. These Rotel tomatoes also add in some spice to your dish. I mean, it makes it so much better. Just adding in that one ingredient. As you see here, I'm draining my shells and then I'm running some cool water over it to stop that cooking process. Now we're going to line our pan with that spaghetti sauce. So we're going to go ahead and line our pan with that. And you want to make sure you coat the entire bottom of your pan. Get it all coated, and then we're going to move on to stuffing our shells. So you just take one shell, and that's the bag that I was telling y'all about where I cut a hole through there. I mean, you're going to struggle a little bit, especially if you use as much filling as I did. I mean, it took a little while. It's tedious, but I mean, it's so worth it in the end. It's so good. And you just put that filling into the shell and just make sure that you do that to all of your shells. And you just want to place them close together side by side, and they should look like that. Now we want to go ahead and top the filled cells with it spaghetti sauce again. So we're going to top that all over that and make sure that you get every piece of it coated. You don't want no man left behind, no shell left behind. Just cover it all with that sauce, that good old sauce that you just made. It's just, it's so good, y'all. Y'all have to try this recipe. And then we're going to top that with some mozzarella cheese, that mozzarella cheese that we shredded before. We're going to top that with the rest of that. And we're going to put all of that in there. Get it all in there. We love all the cheese. Okay, and then next we're just gonna top that with some parsley flakes. The fresh parsley that we chopped up, of course. Then we're gonna place that in the oven on 350 for about 15 minutes. And baby, look at that. We gonna garnish that with that Parmesan, and ooh, it turned out so good. Thank y'all so much for watching and for tuning in to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share this video. Thank y'all. See y'all.